Welcome to The Right Question. I'm Daphne Gray Grant, and my topic today is about life getting in the way of writing. I have a question from Christy Pinella, a grad student based in Portland, Oregon. Here's what she's asked.
How do you keep making steady progress on a writing project when everything else in your life is hard? For me, writing is hard on its own, and then it gets way harder when you pile everything else on top, working a full-time job, not getting enough sleep, managing anxiety or depression, maybe the dog gets sick. So my question just is, how do you keep making steady progress when all of that is happening?
Thanks for your question, Christy. Life really does get in the way sometimes, doesn't it? We have lofty ideas, ambitious plans, and incredible aspirations. And then we have a car accident or the dog gets sick. If it's any comfort, understand that everyone faces these challenges. Unexpected illnesses, financial problems, disrupted sleep, difficult bosses. These day-to-day hassles affect all of us at some points in our lives. Also be aware that many writers start their careers when they're doing another job full-time. So I'm not convinced that full-time work should be considered a barrier to writing. The issue for you is that it's affecting your writing. So the first thing to do is to ask yourself why. I'm guessing it's because you might struggle with what's popularly known as writer's block. You can get around this issue, however, with some planning and diligence. The best way to start is by making your writing goal very small. In fact, breathtakingly small. 5 minutes is often enough, and if that seems too daunting, then try 3. For some people, even 1 minute is a-okay. Just do it 5 days a week. Of course, you're allowed to have weekends off. I know, you're going to tell me you can barely turn on your computer in that time. Fair enough. But the idea isn't to write a ton of words in those few minutes. It's to create a habit. What you want is a goal you can achieve day after day. The power comes from the day after day part, not the 5 minutes. And don't increase your time until you've hit that total for at least 2 weeks, maybe even longer. Then, when you're ready to increase the 5 minutes, do so only by a small amount. Don't go from 5 minutes to 20, go to 10, and do that for another 2 weeks. Remember, you aren't allowed to write longer than the designated time. The idea is to create what economists call pent-up demand. That way, writing will become something you anticipate with pleasure rather than something you dread. Yes, this process is slow to start, but you're playing guerrilla warfare with writer's block. And keep in mind, I've used this technique to help writers produce books of 80,000 words and dissertations of longer than 100,000 words. This system works. It just takes time. The value is it allows you to create a sustainable habit. And you know how hard habits are to break, right? Let me give you another couple of suggestions as well. If the thought of writer's block or feelings of anxiety ever cross your mind, then immediately reduce your time commitment again. You want to protect your writing habit by ensuring that you continue to do it 5 days a week. Also, if you're going away on holiday or taking some other break, be aware that when you return to writing, it's going to be a challenge. Don't allow this to surprise you. Instead, restart your habit with a small amount of time. And if that needs to be no more than 5 minutes, so be it. Don't judge yourself. You want to be able to finish your writing every day with no anxiety and no concern. I know some writers might feel this plan is too easy, almost lackadaisical, but keep in mind that writing is a creative process. And if you're feeling any anxiety, you need to take whatever steps you can to protect your creativity and safeguard your writing habit. Finally, let me wrap up with a quote from the wonderful 18th century writer Samuel Johnson. "The chains of habit are generally too small to be felt until they are too strong to be broken." Thanks for the question, Christy. I'd like to encourage anyone who's facing anxiety to start with some very small chains and over time turn them into something that's strong and powerful and very difficult to break.